In old times, the darkness of the night was an absolute power. When the sun set, the world stopped, and people surrendered to the power of the shadows. Fire was like a potent spell, trying to pierce the dark, flickering, sooty, and dangerous. But then, a spark emerged. A spark that seemed like a tiny, ordinary idea, but which would irreversibly change the course of human history. This idea would not only capture the darkness, it would also change our sleeping hours, our cities, our economy, our movements, and even how our brains function. This is the story of the moment humanity conquered the night, the birth of the electric light bulb. The story of the electric light bulb didn't actually begin with the sudden awakening of a single genius. On the contrary, it was born from the combination of dozens of inventors, hundreds of trials, and thousands of disappointments. In the early 1800s, Humphry Davy obtained the first artificial light by heating a thin piece of charcoal with electricity. But this light was short and bright, like an out-of-control flame, and impractical. In the years that followed, many inventors tried to control the light. The filament would burn out, explode, melt. The tube couldn't be vacuumed. The electric current would become unstable. Each attempt was like the darkness defending itself against the light. Yet, persistent people continued. Humanity refused to surrender to the night. They kept trying until the very last moment that would unlock the door to light. And finally, the calendar reached the late 1870s. An inventor known for his ambition and tenacity stepped onto the stage: Thomas Edison. Edison was not the one who invented the bulb, but he was the one who made it reliable, manufacturable, and workable for everyone. He virtually turned his laboratory into a temple of light. He tested thousands of different materials as a filament: cotton, linen, bamboo, even the chewing gum we chew. Each one burned out and disappeared within seconds, until a piece of carbonized bamboo burned for 1,200 hours. In that moment, the gates of darkness creaked open. Edison's bulb had not only captured light, it laid the foundation for the electrical grid, modern cities, and the sleepless world. When Edison's bulb lit up, it was not just illuminating a room, but the future of the entire world. Because the real revolution was the electricity distribution system as much as the bulb itself. Edison also designed the cables, generators, and control equipment that would bring light to every home. In 1882, the first central power station was commissioned on Pearl Street in New York, and the streets illuminated at night seemed almost magical to people. Darkness had ceased to be an inevitable fate and became a choice that humanity could control. With the spread of light, factories began to work longer, stores stayed open at night, and cities became more vibrant than ever. Humanity had begun to reshape its own biological limits with technology. With the proliferation of the bulb, the world became a brighter place than ever. But this brightness also came at a cost. As humanity turned nights into days, our biological clocks began to change. Artificial light affected our sleep patterns and even our hormones. Concurrently, the demand for electricity increased, and central energy production created new problems. Despite all these side effects, however, the bulb remains one of the most significant turning points in human history. Because remember that one idea gives birth to others. Incandescent bulbs turned into fluorescents, and fluorescents into LEDs. More efficient, more durable, and smarter light sources emerged. The technologies that illuminate our homes, cities, and even space today are the descendants of that first flickering charcoal filament bulb. It is the legacy bequeathed to us by the determination not to surrender to the dark. Today, turning on a room light may seem like a simple act, but that small action carries a powerful story behind it. The bulb has become a symbol of humanity's will to not negotiate with the dark. Every time we press a light switch, we remember Davy's first arc lamp, the hundreds, maybe thousands of failed filament attempts, the endless nights in Edison's laboratory, and that magical moment when cities first sparkled in the night. The light bulb is a living testament to how one invention can transform the world. Because sometimes, great revolutions begin with a small, silently burning light, and that light continues to illuminate humanity's path.